Welcome to Genome Engineering. Before we meet the first time, I give you a short introduction what you have to do. So you have to watch the video, do the module test and the pre-test before we meet. Because the structure of the module is different from other, here's a section why a different approach. Classically, you learn and then you do a test and an exam, and then you're confronted later on to solve problems, and very often this is very difficult. And therefore I developed a different concept which I called flipped exam concept, where you start your learning process with the task. In some cases you might be already able to solve the problem and then you're done. That's fantastic. You don't have to prepare maybe anything anymore. However, if you don't find a solution, you get, of course, support within Elias, but also within your peer group when we meet in the exchange phase. For the exam, you get a very similar task as you had initially, and you should be able to solve that problem very easily. And I believe that this is a sustainable learning process because this is a real life problem. The module is structured in a way that you do an online preparation in the beginning to test your competence and see if you can solve the task and the problem. You get support in Elias by question and answer section, and there is in the exchange phase, we have the discussion, you get peer group instructed support, and in the next lecture, when we meet, there's the exam, you work on a certain task. In the third lecture, there will be a peer review. Peer review is also very, very important because later on you are confronted with a situation that you have to evaluate certain work packages of your colleagues, or you are a supervisor of people and you have to be able to evaluate projects. And as you can see, you have to repeat that 5 times to be successful in the module. 50% of the grading you get on your peer reviews, and 50% you get working on the task. 3 out of 4 projects are used to sum up the grading, because the first project, P1, is just for training, and we have P2 to P5, which is relevant for grading. And only the 3 best projects are used to build up your grading. Here you find the 5 projects, starting with the databases. Each project is based on a test, so you have to perform a test before we meet. You can find the content about the project. If you click on project, you see here databases, starting with the learning objective, the relevance, why is it important to learn about this topic here. And then you already find the tasks. You can see you can put in here for gene X, your favorite gene, and work on this project. Same is for a vector. For a cloning project, for example, you have to download a certain vector sequence. Importantly, since you are measured on the quality of the data, there are criteria which you can find here. And these criteria are also important when you go later on to the section of peer review, because you have to know on which criteria you have to evaluate a project. To support you, there are example projects with specific genes where all the deliverables are given here. You also find here the videos which support you. However, I don't recommend to use the videos because in real life, the boss of you is not providing you a video. So don't use it, only if you don't find any solutions and you don't understand anything and you get not support by your peer group. Maybe you watch a video, but not in the first place, please. And with that, you hopefully have understood the concept of the module. If you have further questions, you can ask that in the first exchange phase.